Hey everybody, this is the 15th and hopefully last video in the pasta restaurant development series where we are going to create the directions page of the website. So what I have in mind here is a 3-column section. So we'll start with that and I'll choose 3 columns. My plan is for the first column to have some text with some written directions for how to get to the restaurant. In the middle, we'll put a coupon for a 20% discount. And then on the right, we're going to put a Google map with a link to the restaurant. And the restaurant, by the way, is really the high school because, well, this is a fictional website. All right, so we'll start way over here on the left-hand side. And I'll go to my Elementor widgets, and I'm going to start by pulling out a text editor. All right, so I'm going to minimize just briefly and open directions.txt, okay? And I'm going to select just the top part of this, all right, and copy it, toggle back over to Elementor, and in the dialog box, I'm going to paste that text. Okay. Now, sometimes when text is pasted from a text file, it comes in just a little wonky. So I'm going to just hit an extra enter between each of these little paragraphs here, because that's going to help us when we want to put bullets on the last items here. So I'm going to select them and I'm going to make this a bulleted list. And that looks really nice. Problem is the color's wrong. So I'm going to go to the style. I'm going to choose for text color. I'm going to use our dark brown to be consistent. And for typography, I'm going to do 14 points. And for the family, I just want to make sure it's Lato. Great. So that looks fine. It would be nice to have a little prompt at the beginning here that tells us to visit the restaurant. So what I'm going to do is go back to my Elementor widgets, grab a heading. I'm going to pop it right on top of this text. I'm going to type in here, visit us, exclamation point. Let's add some style. For text color, looks good. We've been using for a font family kind of as our style courgette. And I missed it, so I'll try that again. Courgette. And I'm going to pull this to about 30. Ooh, that's too big. Somewhere in the mid 30s, like 32, 33, 34. Looks good. All right, so time to move to the middle column. In the middle column, I just wanted an image, so I'll put in an image widget. I'll come over here, and I need to upload that file. It seems to know that I'm in the images folder. I'm going to upload the coupon. I'm going to put it in that column. All right, for the column width, after I insert this, there we go. And I just want to check the style really quick. And I want to change the width to 350 because I know that it's square, and I also want, which would mean that the height is 350, and we're going to make this map to also have a height of 350. Okay, I'm going to update the page. Here's our coupon. If we click on that coupon, in a minute, it should actually load up the image. All right, in the third column, we'll go back to our widgets. I'm going to type into my search bar, I'm going to type map. I'm going to grab a Google map. I'm going to paste or drag it right into this third spot here. For a height, I'm going to type 350. I'm going to hit enter. All right. Now, as It's probably loading. There we go. It's London, England. And I'm not going to worry about this right now because it knows that this is 350 width and it's square, and it knows that this is 350. I'm going to preview it before I go anywhere and make any changes on this. However, London is really not where we want to go. So what we'd like to do is put the school's address here. So I'm going to come back over to my directions file, and I'm just going to grab these two lines right here and copy. All right. And I'm going to come into my map, and I'm just going to paste that. And it would then change the image here to be Pine Richland. We'll keep that height at 350. If you'd like to zoom in a little more, be my guest. Looks good. Let's update the page. Okay, and let's preview the page as well. I scroll down. Okay, it's looking pretty good right now. So I'm going to go back over, and I want to actually link this particular Google map. So I'm going to go to style. Nope, it is already linked because that's its content. So it's good to go. If I look at the preview, I'm going to just increase the height just a bit because it seems to be just a little bit off. So I'll come over here and maybe just try, we had it at 350. Let's try maybe 360 and see if that helps. And I'm going to update and preview changes. And that looks just about perfect. My two sides are of even, ending at the same spot there. Okay, toggle back over to our designer view. And at this point, I have a nifty little trick to show you. And that is, we want to create a new section. But this time when we create the section, we're going to use a shortcut. We're going to use a pre-made template. And we didn't make the template this time. I imported a bunch of templates for us to use from a plugin. And the plugin was called Astra Starter Sites. So I'm going to click this Starter Templates button. And the one I picked out happens to be in the organic store. And we're going to grab the content, or excuse me, the contact page. And let's just import that template. All right, and there it is. And we don't want all of this content. So I'm going to delete the frequently asked questions. I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to delete get in touch. And then what I've got left here is just this area with my phone number, my email, and a location. So the first thing that would be nice here, and you'll notice how it's organized. I've got a section with an inner section that has 3 columns, all right? And then this has both a picture and some text. So I'm going to take the text here, and since we already have our address, I'll paste it in there. And we know that we have been using a text color that is our deep brown. So I'll just change that. For this one, we'll delete the second email and we'll say info@pastarestaurant.com. That'd be great. And then we will change its color to our standard brown. And then over here, we'll just make up our phone number, which was 724-625-4444. and change its style to our standard brown. Okay, now it's time to change icons. So click the icon, click Style, change the color. We go with our standard red. I'll do that also for email, but I'm going to make another change here as well. After I get the color all set up here, I'm going to go back to content. And really, we would expect that if I were to click directly on this icon, that it would open my email and send an email to the company. So the way you do that is you click in the link field and you type mail to, and then we'll just type info@pastarestaurant.com and hit enter. And now that should be linked. Great. And so we'll come over here and we'll change its style. And I don't want dynamic content again. I just want to change the color. And I'll go back to content here. And we really should have a link on this so that if they wanted some more custom directions, they could get it. So I went to Google and went to Google Maps, pasted in the address up here, and got a nice preview of Pine Richland High School. And I'm going to go ahead and copy from the URL address at the top of the screen. I'm going to take a copy of that. I'm going to toggle over, paste in the link, update the page. And now what I'm noticing that I don't like about this design are a couple of things. One is right here, this leaf happens to be way up here. Okay, so we're going to want to change that so that it's not overlapping. It should be kind of moved farther down. So I'm going to click this outer section right here, and I'm going to start looking around for why this is up so high. So I'm going to look at advanced first, and nothing really is troublesome here except for maybe this bottom margin of 100. I'll take that and I'll set it back to 0. Okay, and I'll update. All right, then I would check this section, and that's not really being affected because that's only for this inner part. And it looks like even though this leaf has to be in the section, I can't, it's actually farther up. So I'm going to check its advanced properties. I'm going to pull its top property back down to 0. That helps us a little bit, so I'll update. And now I just kind of want to look at the structure. I don't know where else to click to get this to move down. But I do have this one little idea or trick up my sleeve. And that is right over here at the bottom of the Elementor menu. There's something called the navigator. And this navigator can help us see kind of an outline of how this page is laid out. So if I click that, and I should have 3 sections on the page. The first section is for directions. The second section was for a 3-column layout. And we're working right now on the 3rd section. So it shows us where that 3rd section is. If I expand that, I've got a column. There's my magic right there. So I'm looking at these column settings, and I'm going to click Advanced and check it out. -50, I want to pull that back down to 0. Click on this section and see if there's any top margin on this section. And there it is. Pull that back down to 0. Pull this up a little bit, which is what I wanted. And I'm going to go ahead and update the page. All right, and the last thing that I'd like to do is just to add a little bit of white space above this leaf. So I'm going to click on the leaf. I'm going to go to Advanced, and I'm going to see if margin works, and it does. All right, I'm going to call it good to go for now. Update the page, and that is the entire directions page.